Hey everyone, and welcome back to Get Out of Elo Hell. It is I, Drew from Organized Play, and today I have a game of League of Legends, and I am Ziggs. I went mid this time. I want to switch it up a bit to show you kind of like the different styles that I play and whatnot, and general tips. A lot of the stuff that I give out tends to be just general tips, and some of them are very specific to champions. So right now, our team comp's pretty decent. I picked Ziggs purely because I saw Anivia and I wanted to outrange and play safe against Anivia. If Anivia gets you in a stun, there's a very good chance that she'll probably kill you when she gets level 6 because she does so much damage. So we started off the game pretty standard, nothing too crazy here. We hang out in this bush. I didn't see my teammates. Two of them were still base, so I did want to help my jungler out, but I didn't want to just give a free kill just in case their whole team came. Zyra lands root on you, and you're pretty much GG's. You're dead. So I'm just hanging out here in this bush. Our support finally came to be, and then I saw our Yasuo move, so I figured everyone's logged into the game. But like I said, there's no point, brush checking if you don't need to, like incessantly or unnecessarily. You want to keep a nice, distance. Like I could kind of see them if they rope around or if they're trying to look for a fight. But with Ziggs, you kind of kite very well. So that's also one of the reasons why I picked Ziggs. I didn't want to get too close to Udyr, who can gap close really easily, or get dragged in by Darius. That and the plans from Zyra. So Ziggs is one of my favorite poke champs to play, especially something like mid. So here I'm not doing anything crazy, just autoing the wave a bit. I don't want to push it too far because then he can the player can safely farm from all the way in the back. See, I was dumb. I kind of forgot the range, but once I figured out the range on the stun, I kind of started getting a little bit of a better grasp on what I was going to do. Let's see, bot lane didn't seem. I guess they were just helping out their jungler. Here, I'm just trying to farm nice and safe. So yeah, that I figured out the range on that stun, I kind of easily sidestep. So with Ziggs, I can generally play like a bitch. I can play pretty far because I know the bouncing bombs on his Q can get pretty decent range. His auto attacks are empowered to kind of last hit those minions. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I have a little bit of CS, there's only 3 CS. I'm keeping the wave back and I'm trying to make it so I can kind of zone them from getting any XP and or last hits, but at the same time, I myself can, do the same. So I did make a miss like a CS or two. We're not losing anything. We both have pretty amount of decent health. He also has the egg passive to really help out if they really need to. So, I figure Udyr probably has like the second I called a ping out because the second I saw the mid lane leave a bit, especially towards here, decided to warn Nunu. He was already clearing out Udyr's camp, so he got out pretty fine. He stole his red. But, it's important to see when you at any moment don't see your mid or if you see them heading somewhere. I kind of trailed and followed them to that lane. I just thought he just put a ward there, but you never know if they're going to go for backup or whatever and what have you. So you have to mirror your mid and you have to call the MIAs because mid's really easy position to gank on either side. It's not like a bot lane going all the way to top lane, which I mean it could happen, but and see, I knew Udyr had to come here. That was inevitable. They stole his red. There was nowhere else he could go after he cleaned this out. All he could do was try to gank top, but since Nunu was already up there, I didn't have to worry too much. I lit a ward here, kind of to give me vision if he goes through this brush or he tries to counter jungle. And also, I kind of let our Scion and Ez know that Udyr was in the general area. As you can see, I'm kind of phasing out the Anivia here. And at the same time, I'm keeping track of where Udyr is, and so that way I don't get ganked by him. Instead, I get hit by a stun and see like between I think that's her E that does the spike damage or whatever. It does a ton of damage to me with only 2 abilities. And even though I'm, have a little bit of a CS lead, if I have to keep backing, that's easy. She could just catch up in CS. But right now we see disparity. I mean, Nunu did take some XP from him and some of his camps. And all I'm doing is trying to keep a nice distance. See, I'm almost near full health. I popped my 2 pots. I knew I could stay in lane because my empowered auto attack kind of could help hit last minions. All of my abilities are AoE type abilities, so I can farm pretty easily. I didn't have to worry too much. Udyr is generally on this bot side of the jungle, or he bot, because, obviously he had to go. He tried to fail gank bot, and he just roped back to finish off his camps and try to get some sort of gold, because he still was relatively healthy. So even as a jungler, if you have a little bit of health, you should probably stay out, catch a camp, or do something. So I started roaming a bit more. I already put out my second ward because I saw that one's expiring, and because there's no caddy minion, and I figure he doesn't have too many great wave clear options at 5. I'm just going to let him get that wave catch up. I was building the Luden's Echo because, I burn mana really quickly and I want my cooldowns. So I decided to get, a Sapphire Crystal, an Amputome, and 2 pots here. Should help me keep me in lane. I just ported straight back. Didn't want to waste any time because already Anivia was catching up with my CS. Like I said, because I know that I have a ward here, for the most part, unless Udyr comes through here and flashes, or comes through here, I should be safe. So I try to stick to, you obviously want to stick to the side where you have wards, which should be relatively safer. It's not 100%, but it's a better chance of staying alive than if you had just, left it in the middle of nowhere. So knowing that I have a ward here, and most of my team is down bot, I kind of just roaming on this side of the map in case I have to escape. I've got 2 escape routes. And see, I still have more damage than Nivea, who only has, let's see, how much AP does she have here? 35 to my 70 right now, because I just leveled up. Now I'm level 6. Now I have my ult, which is pretty decent. I can 3-point shots from about mid-dragon to bot wave, to bot lane. I called the MIA, because Anivia, I guess she stayed in lane, but, I was never too sure. I thought maybe she went to buy and was going to port back to lane, because she also took teleport. Bot lane looks like they're going to keep trying to camp. And see, and I just let the wave push up against me because I have no problem letting a huge wave get close to me while I just pop it off with some of my abilities. And then I saw Udyr. Now, see, I called the MIA, and now I started fearing like, oh crap, Anivia could be roaming down bot to make a 4-man bot gank. I didn't want to give up CS, so I started roaming down a bit towards bot because I saw they were getting chased. Once I saw that they were okay and they weren't going to really lose anything, put out my pink. Now, generally, I put it right down here just so you could see if the enemy's entering your jungle. My regular ward, I didn't have enough time to put one up yet, so I figured if they try to roam around here, we should be able to see them. And also helps if they try to... I generally put it here so I get more vision if they're going to gank me through here, but I figured since I'd have my yellow ward soon, I didn't have to worry too much about it. I saw Nivea come back to lane. She looks like she walked back. She didn't use her port. I want to bust to see if Udyr was cheekily hiding around here. I hear him, and you could see the animation. So if you notice, like right here, see there's little dots on the screen. So if you see anybody, if you see those dots, it generally means that someone's doing the scuttle or something. So I knew Udyr was coming down bot, and now I see that, alright, now I can just chase him off. I'm not investing too much. I just want to make sure he backs off, just that way these guys can do their thing unharassed. Anivia is playing super safe. She's conserving all her mana and just autoing the wave. So she is catching up to my CS lead, although I did have an assist from, I believe I threw my ult down and got the kill somewhere, or rather I got the assist somewhere. See, in all that work that she spent slowly trying to push this wave up, I killed most of the wave in just one of my Qs. Again, I'm just trying to get the wave together. That way I have to spend less abilities to clear out the wave. And we are just, trying to rope around. I get hit, and look, with 2 abilities, she did a ton of damage to me. Now, if she put this wall behind me and then put up her ult in front of me so I'd have to walk all the way around, 100% I think I'd be dead. Really good chance that I'd be dead. Yep, just clear out the wave. I'm pretty healthy. I just popped my 2 pots. I wasn't low. The thing a lot of people make mistakes with is when you're low on health, don't try to pop the pots all at once because it's not going to heal you fast enough to, get you out of danger. You want to pop the pots where you're thinking, all right, you have to invest your time. All right, I knew I was going to stay in lane, so I was like, I'm going to pop my pots now. That way I'm healthy enough to stay in lane, and I could kind of flex in front of this Nivea because, yes, she could have like 15 billion pots on her, but if she doesn't actively use them at the right time, she's going to probably die before she gets to stay in lane. So hearing that there's probably going to be a dive down bot, I start roaming a bit because Anivia went back. And I kind of wasted my time there, but it's okay. See, like, you try to keep an eye and at least leave some doubt. So if Anivia was smart, she probably would have left the word here or here, trying to see if I was going to roam down bot. But because she, I guess, didn't have enough time, she doesn't have enough time to go around here. Maybe she could ward if she's getting ganked, but she's not keeping an eye of where I'm going. So every time that I'm even stepping here to fake that I'm going to go check another lane, she's going to have to call MIA, play super safe, play far back, when she should have just been laying a ward right here to kind of counter my escape routes or my possible areas where I think I could go. So every time and that's why I keep doing this, because she knows I'm probably going to keep trying to gank her friend, so by stepping here, she has no information of where I'm going. And the reason why I step here, especially with Ziggs, is because you can throw a Q, and you'll see me do this maybe a little bit later on. I could throw my Qs from here and still affect the mid wave coming through and pretty much decimate it. So I'm really safe just playing. Some people would like, oh, there's not a whole lot of action. I'm kind of just passively farming, and that's fine for me. I don't need a ton of kills on you right now. I need to make sure my presence is felt, whether it's indirectly, see, like just looking like I'm roaming, I'm already trying to roam bot. And look, Udyr just went to go check mid. He wasted his time just looking through mid, was checking where I was. See, they called MIA. And see, I hit Anivia once or twice. She's already pretty chunked out. I threw my ult. I missed because I saw that Udyr was jumping into my Nunu. I noticed that Darius was missing, but then I noticed they don't have a lot of health. We can actually fight this in the skirmish. They're all pretty low, and I can kite. And all we do is chase them out. I mean, one of us is going to die. I can get away, but thankfully, Anivia didn't have that much actual in the form of items. Sorry about that. So we were able just to kind of clean that up. And let's speed this up a bit. So seeing as we just killed 3 of them, we just went crazy on this turret. And the great thing about Ziggs right now is that we already see the animation for the port. And the great thing about Ziggs is he can use his W to bust up low health turrets. Let me see what I want to do. Here we go. Oh, that's not the one I want to use. There we go. Scoreboard. Did that by accident. So we got first turret 12 minutes in. We're doing 4 and 2. We're doing pretty good. But the enemy team only down 4 kills. They didn't know they were about, 3-4k down low in gold. We did get a dragon. We got the Ocean Drake, which isn't really going to help us too much. The only person who's going to really benefit from it, well, I guess the 2 people would be Nunu and Scion, since they're very health heavy. I ported right back into lane. And then Nunu went right back to doing the scuttle, the large scuttle. I forgot her name. Again, I call MIA because I assume they have a ward around here, and Anivia may be rotating to that objective. I see Darius moving off the top, so I was about to go down bot to help out. Then I saw Darius through that ward starting to rotate. Now Nunu stayed here, and we just double circled our ults. And now we just got them trapped in. I threw all of my abilities dead center because there was no way they could avoid walking through or around my damage. I almost died if Darius actually ulted. I picked up the buff. And I kind of waffled a bit. At first I thought I was going to do this, but then I realized, like, oh, we could probably easily take down this turret too. We should probably just aim for this. So you see me rotating back. Let's speed that up a bit. I released the big scuttle. I keep forgetting its name. I'll remember it. And it was pretty low, so I didn't want to take all the health off it. So I want to zone them out and then just easily knock out the turret. So at least we got 1 turret for free and a little bit of a push. I mean, some people may hold it on until later, but I figured I might as well get it out of the way now. I started helping out Yasuo by leaving wards, but unfortunately I ran right into Anivia. Yasuo was getting a little bit hurt by Darius earlier. That was a brilliant move that he was able to ult and throw onto Nivea, which became a target, which gave him essentially a free flash. So that was really good. And all this time, we got our jungler taking another objective. So while we were tying up the mid and top here, our jungler took the opportunity to take an objective, which was great, obviously. And look at this wave, is still kind of good, and I didn't lose a caddy or anything like that. My turret is virtually untouched. Bot lane's virtually untouched, and top lane, it took a little bit of damage. Probably took the most damage on our team. Yasuo went to push mid, you know, and I wasn't even salty about it. I'd rather someone get the CS and the push, since right now I don't know if they are keeping track of my teleport timer, so they're fearing, oh, maybe they switch lane, maybe they're moving around. Let's hurry that up a bit. Look at that, and between the three of them, they kind of coordinated that assault. Now they can just cut this whole lane off. So I just told my team, I'm going to stay mid, you guys can push down bot, because Darius can't touch me. I have a lot of ways to kite him, I have easy ways to push the lane, see like 2 abilities. Most of the wave's gone. I don't mind burning mana, because I already have my Ludens and my mana band. Now I drop a pink here, because most enemies won't, unless they're dropping a ward there, they'll walk right through here. I've seen enemies walk through this bush, see that it's pinked, and then just continue walking. They're not aware of that until they put a regular ward there, and they're like, oh, there's a pink, we gotta get rid of it. So I decided to throw my ult, purely just to phase him out a bit. Between the amount of AoE ults we have, we killed almost everything down here bot lane. So, like I said, the great thing about Ziggs, I was right here, and I could 3-point my attack, my ult all the way down to bot lane. I know that unless Udyr flashes, he's not going to be able to catch me. And I'm just trying to get the tower low enough so I can throw my demo charge on it and destroy it. See, so I can keep harassing Udyr all I want. He really can't do a whole lot. And it was just one of the reasons why I also picked Ziggs, because I didn't want Udyr just catching me. You know, I could have played Xerath, played long range, but once Xerath misses his stun, he pretty much can't, you know, kite and keep a team at bay. Now we're joining out this bottom fight, this turret solo. So right now I'm just trying to catch him off where he could go. Now Sion's probably going to die, but he knows better. He's going to jump and try to intercept some of those shots. And then now they're kind of trapped. Udyr has to go forward, which he ends up dying. And we can just purely kite the enemy team and keep them away. Especially with me having blue buff. So all I'm doing, between me and Ezreal, we're just throwing our Qs out. Throwing our ults out. I don't care, the cooldown of my ult's not that heavy, so I'm just going to keep spamming abilities and trying to see if I could. Yeah, I was kind of dumb. I took a couple of tower hits for no reason. I thought I could just throw my demo charge, but it wasn't quite low enough. So on the following wave, we just follow up and speed that up a bit. Destroy the turret and keep pushing, because between me and Ez, we can kind of just keep the enemy at bay almost indefinitely. And Sion's tanky enough where he's just tanking turret hits. And look, they have to dedicate more and more people just to get remotely close. Me and Ez are just taking turns on this tower, and like I said, if we want to keep their team away, between me and Ez, we can do that. Which is why, like I said, I love playing Ziggs a lot, because of this reason. See, drop some mines down. Throw some of my Qs out, my bouncing bombs. And somehow I ended up killing Udyr, even though Ez threw his ability. So we should be able to get away from this. I mean, we are still flirting. We should be leaving by now. We're just playing a little bit unsafe. But while the whole team's essentially trying to deal with just us kiting them back and forward on this bot lane, we got the tier 2 turret on the top, and we're just messing up that third inner turret. And see, now, since they have not that many people to actually guard against us, I'm just going to keep harassing away, keep pushing down the bot lane. And all this while, people are forgetting about their mid tower, as waves are just crashing up against it. See, they have to rotate. Once they notice that this was pushed a little bit back, now they're purely defense. I don't think they have laid any wards of note. Maybe they've laid them right outside their base, but see, he has to flash just to get anywhere close to us, and he is going to get close. I see that. I flashed because I want to avoid one of the shots. We barely get out of range. Unfortunately, my cooldowns after I lost the blue aren't super great. I try to bring the enemy to the wave, but he gave me a dot with the tiger stance, and they ended up dying to that. So that kind of sucked. But all the while, like I said, we did a lot of damage. We did some damage to the inhib. Nothing too major. But now they're losing more and more here. They have to kind of think their way out of a bag here. We've surrounded their base essentially. We've got some decent wards, and we know that because they're playing almost pure defense, and Zyra's pretty much the only person dropping wards, that most of their wards have to be located right outside their base doors. They have no objective control. As you see, we've taken everything on both sides. I mean, as a new would do per se. Yasuo's cleaning up what he can. There's a free blue here. And Zion was just really pushing wave. He wasn't really trying to accomplish too much except show face, because sometimes all you got to do is show face. Once we see Darius and more people go after one target, I decided to blow my port in. I drop a ward. See, the first thing I did, it's like the first thing I did as soon as I got off of that teleport, drop a ward here. Why is that important? Because, all right, we have a pink here, which could die. We have two pinks technically, but we need to see people coming down through these lanes trying to gank us. If a person's going to try to go through here to gank through here, we'll see him because we have a pink here. If this lane's taken up, we got another ward there, so we could see them trying to collapse on us. Don't underestimate the fact that you have minions. They're just free wards. They're walking wards. So right now, we know, okay, there's nobody really guarding up top lane. We got the caddy minion. Mid lane, we've got Udyr. We don't have to invest any wards except for the one we have here. We have Udyr trying to fight off a lane. So we know, okay, so besides for Udyr, who do we have left? We have Zyra and the rest of the team. And they're not too particularly strong. So let's go on with that. But just calling into attention. Alright, the rest of the team starts showing up. So Sion decides to flash so he doesn't get executed by Darius ult. I was going to do the blue, but now I'm just going to spam abilities. Alright, I take the blue. And now Udyr wants to kind of just try to take my pink ward out, but all this time, all I'm going to keep doing is ferreting him. Every time he tries to go, throw out an ability. He can't stand to fight. He doesn't have a whole lot of MR. In fact, the only MR he has, I believe, is coming off of his boots. So he's only got 68. We lose Ezreal in the fight, but I was waffled a bit. I should have just committed to one side. I should have just went here. I get Udyr. I try to phase out Jhin, and now I'm just somehow I kill Anivia. I think she walked into my minefield. We got the dragon, and I can. They're a whole team right now. Can't really do a whole lot. I'm just spamming abilities because I know that they're pretty weak. They've spent this whole time fighting off Ezreal, Sion, and Nunu, so they were pretty weak. I knew I could, as I said, I could kind of kite them out, and I could throw a bunch of bouncing Qs. Now, the call to Baron, my team's really close to Baron. The reason why I stayed in lane is because I want to show face. If the whole team's missing, the enemy's going to start getting curious. They're going to be like, all right, maybe we should start warding, maybe we should start checking Baron or other objectives. So what I did, I decided to push bot lane. I knew this was essentially my own death sentence, but I figured if I could get an inhib and I could, get our team can get Baron, it's 100% worth. So right now I'm not going to burn flashes. I'm not going to try to get away. If there was a minion wave here, I would burn my ult even just to get the wave. But all I wanted to do was get this inhib. And now my team, because their whole team, they saw pretty much bot, it was a free Baron for our team, which is 110% worth it. In my opinion, at least. Like I said, and we got bot inhib, so that's even better. Waves are kind of pushed up. Like I said, free vision. These pinks have been sitting here for a while. Even though they've tried to kill this pink and were unsuccessful, they've just given up on this side of the map. As Yasuo has Guardian Angel, is now pushing up empowered minions. And here's going to come another wave. Now, I don't have... Well, I'm still dead at this point. But I don't have my port anymore, so I can't just automatically join the fight. They decide to siege mid a bit. They are taking a lot of damage. Now, Sion's going to die here. He's just taking too much damage. He got slowed too much by Darius. Now, Nunu, in this being, decides to... He's kind of low, so he's using the Ocean Drake and probably his Devourer to get a free buff and or push the top wave. And while this fight's going on, I'm trying to get as close to Ezreal as I can. And their bot wave, Zyra's playing defense right now. She can't take part in any part of that fight. Let's back up 15 seconds. So she can't take part of any of that fight. Like I said, I'm just trying to help Ezreal. He's kind of healthy, but he could die if Jhin executes him with his last shot. And he got pretty low to Darius, so amazingly, And thankfully, I managed to save Ezreal's skin there, and I'm just going to keep continuing pushing. See, Nunu this whole time, he healed up between the Ocean Drake that we had earlier and a couple of Devours by clearing out the jungle camps, and he's already thinking about rotating. All I have to do here is keep spamming abilities, and Scion teleported in, and just try to secure another objective. And that's pretty much the name of the game when you're talking about what you want to do in League of Legends. You want to keep pushing objectives, or, I mean, granted, kills generally mean that you can try to get some objective while the other team's dead, but you shouldn't just focus on, like, oh, kills. And I know that may seem ironic because my score is 10-3-8, but a lot of my damage, and this is pretty much the end of the game here, but a lot of my damage happens to be off, kiting the team, just adding damage to our team, and then finishing people off. See, like, look how far back I am. Every fight I'm in, I'm throwing ability, walking back, throwing ability, walking back, and that's pretty much how just you play Ziggs. You just got another random kill, and that is the end of this game. But I just want to let you guys know this was a really quick game. Just wanted to run through you guys the things that go through my mind and things that should go through your mind when you're kind of just putting things together. Like, you want to be able to, you know, uh, analyze the situation. For example, if you see my build, I went with Mercury Treads. I could have gone for Sorcerer's Boots, which, most mages tend to take, but I thought to myself, I'm already doing a ton of damage. I kind of want some tenacity in case I get stunned or dragged or whatever. I mean, they do have a lot of slows. In addition to that, I picked in the Zonias. I could have just taken more damage, but I wanted to be sure in case I got into some trouble that I could at least Zonias and wait for my team, or at least wait for my cooldowns to come back up. Lich Bane I picked purely because anytime I spam an ability, my passive, which would give me more damage to my autos, so every 12 seconds I deal a bonus magic damage, and so you proc that with Lich Bane, that's essentially double the magic damage that you're doing, so you're doing a ton of damage on your auto the more you spam out your abilities and you attack. And of course, Luden's Echo has just pretty much become a staple for all mages, going mid, or pretty much anywhere that they need, because it'll give them cooldown reduction, also gives them a hefty amount of mana. So guys, this one was a little bit quicker. I just wanted to get through the game, and let me know what you guys think. What champion would you like to see me play, or what role would you like to see me play? I'm going to try to cycle through all of the possible champions that I have, the pool, and give you guys kind of like mini tips of why I play certain champs to certain matchups, or what role what certain things do you do or look out for when you are playing a certain role. So till then, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow our social media, send us questions, drop us comments, hate mail, whatever, and so on. Till then, guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time.